Hello, my friends. I'm Robin. Today we are starting a new reading vlog. We are going to be doing a whole week of cozy, witchy everything. I have some witchy books that I'm going to read. I have some witchy activities. I have a movie that I'm going to watch, and we're just going to have a whole week of cozy, witchy goodness. I was inspired to do this video because I recently read The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, and this is peak cozy witchy vibes. I want to live in this book, and therefore we're going to try to replicate my experience reading this. So over the next week or so, I'm going to be reading at least 4 witchy books. I have a witchy craft project to do. We're going to watch Practical Magic. I have my witch sleeve here. We are just going to do what we can to create the cozy witchy vibes that we all love. So the 4 books that I'm going to read, the first one is Wolf Gone Wild by Juliette Cross. This is the only one that I have physically, and I actually own the first 3.5 books in the series, and I have not started it yet. But I know that this is going to be one that I love. Everybody loves this book, and I think the 4th one either just came out or it's about to come out. It is a witch and werewolf romance. And from what I've heard, this is really funny, really sweet, and really steamy, which is all the things that I love. But I believe in this one, our hero is a werewolf and he can't shift anymore. And even though the werewolves and witches do not get along, they don't interact in any way, he needs to enlist the help of a witch to figure out why he can't shift and somehow reverse it before he's kind of like taken over by the werewolf. Like I said, I've heard nothing but good things about this series. This was actually a book that was voted on over on my Instagram. I have very high hopes for this one. I feel like it's going to be something that I absolutely love. So that is the one physical book that I have. The other ones that I have are ARCs. I have the Kiss Curse by Erin Sterling, and this is the follow-up to the X-Hex, and this one takes place again in October, and we are following the cousin of the heroine from book 1, and in this one, similar to book 1, the hero of this book returns back to the small town, and the two of them, I think, have rival businesses. Something happens and they end up needing to work together, and so it is like a rivals to lovers romance. The series has the cutest small town, and I'm just kind of obsessed with it. I have this one on audio, and this one came with a little surprise, but I'll get into that in a minute. I have What You Gonna Do by Avery Flynn, and I know absolutely nothing about this book. I saw this cover floating around on Instagram, and I was like, that's all I need to know. And I feel like this is the perfect time to get to it during this cozy witchy week. Once I get to this one, I will share the synopsis with you, but I don't want to read the synopsis quite yet. The last one that I'm for sure going to read is Witchful Thinking by Celestine Martin, and this is another small coastal town romance, and our heroine is a witch, and she is casting a spell and something goes awry and she ends up cursing herself, and she can no longer say the word no, and she ends up having to do like all of these ridiculous things, including helping her neighbor, who she's always had a crush on, try to uncurse his house. It is a second chance friends to lovers type of romance, and I'm so excited. This is another cover that immediately pulled me in. We have other witchy stuff that we're gonna do this week. If you download the audiobook for the Kiss Curse, every download of the audiobook comes with a cross-stitch project. So I'm gonna pop the cross-stitch project up right here. I got this from Libro. I'm part of their influencer program, and every month you get a choice of ALCs or advanced listener copies. And if you don't know, I am kind of a cross-stitch addict. So when I saw this, I was like, oh my god, that's absolutely perfect. We are going to do this cross-stitch project while listening to some of these witchy audiobooks. So we're going to do this throughout the week. And I am also going to watch Practical Magic because it feels like time. And then maybe we'll do some other cozy witchy things as well. But I will check back in with you once I start reading. So I just finished filming for the day. I filmed 3 videos. I had a bunch of work meetings. It's been a very productive day. But now I need to go and run some errands. We need to go to Target and pick some stuff up, and then we are going to go to Michael's and we are going to get the rest of the supplies that I need for the cross-stitch project. I'm going to take you along with me while we go run errands. I'm hoping that Target has their Halloween stuff out. The last time that I was there, they didn't yet. I feel like we are always the last Target to get decorations. So I'm hoping it's out so that we can peruse there and see if anything good is out. Let's go run some errands.
was never the one to write.
The pumpkin spice latte has been acquired, and now we can go run errands.
To find myself lost in old conversations, oh, 'cause I've always been told that things will unfold if you keep on waiting. But then you came along and proved me all wrong. I was so mistaken, 'cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free, oh my sweet baby.
Okay, so I am back from errands and I thought I'd give you a little haul, but I got a bunch of stuff. Of course, I had to get a pumpkin spice latte. I went to Michael's first and I got a bunch of stuff. First, I'm going to show you my like random impulse purchase. I have been wanting those like zig dot markers, but they're kind of expensive. And I ended up going to Michael's and they had a pack of them. These are just like the knockoff Artist Loft ones. So I got a pack of them. They were only $9. So I was like, okay. And then I got the 4 colors that I needed. Technically I got the 3 colors, and then this was a replacement because it's not quite the right purple, but close enough. And then I got some more of the plastic bobbins just because I like to always get these when I'm there. And then I got a whole bunch of different sized hoops because I have a bunch of projects upstairs. I was out of these, so I want to hang up some of them, and I just decided to get kind of like a collection of sizes so that I can hang up whatever. So that was my little Michael's haul. This isn't everything from Target because like you don't care about some of the stuff, but I got another thing of like pumpkin coffee because I make coffee every single day. This is just the Caribou Pumpkin Love. And then I impulse purchased 2 mugs, and like someone needs to stop me because like I have mugs there, I have mugs there, I have an entire thing of mugs in like our glass cabinet as well as more in our actual cabinets. I need to like unhaul some mugs, but I couldn't pass these up. So I got this little mummy and another little ghost. Like how freaking cute are these? Like I saw them and I was like, they're $5. I need them, right? I'm sure I showed the footage, but they had so many boxes. Like they had changed over all of the like aisle things so that they were orange and it had like the eyeballs, and there were boxes everywhere. They must have just gotten their Halloween shipment in, but they had some stuff and they had cookie cutters. Why don't we do, it's a cozy vlog, so why don't we bake something? So I got these, which are really adorable. And then I originally was like, I could just like use some stuff at home, but they did have King Arthur cookie mix. And then I got these cute little eyeballs just because I thought that would be fun to add to the cookies. So I'm gonna make some like pumpkin spice cookies and then use these little cookie cutters to cut them out. So we're gonna do that in the vlog. So that's my little haul. I'm very excited as I like try to break my new mugs. That's it for this little haul. I'm going to get everything cleaned up and then possibly like wash my face a little bit, and oh, I need to get this thing printed out, and I think then I'm gonna get started reading. Considering just ordering some food for dinner, I need to edit as well, so it's gonna be a busy night of editing and reading and doing all of the things. So I will check back in with you in a little bit. I thought I will quickly update you on the cross stitch project. So this is the cross stitch project that all of the audiobooks get. So no matter where you get the audiobook from, you will get this included in like the extras. And it says never mix vodka and witchcraft, which is in the first book. I'm guessing it's in the second one as well, and has this really cute cap and cauldron, and I'm very excited to do this. It'll be really cute. So I wanted to show the cross stitch stuff. I had to get the 2 little cards. So I got this like, it was a printable from Etsy, and it has all of the colors for the cross stitch, and then it has the like corresponding colors with it as well. I had printed this and cut this out. This was like a really big project for me, I think in 2020. And essentially in here you can see all of the numbers and everything like that. It's a way to keep everything organized. It was, like I said, it was a huge undertaking. So I wouldn't recommend doing it unless you're like super into it, but like it's very satisfying. I love how it looks. All I'm gonna do is I am going to, where are they? So these are the current bobbins that I have, and all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these, wrap them around the bobbins, and then put them back into these containers. So I'm going to do that. I'm watching Haley's latest vlog from Haley in Bookland. I'm watching her romance haul. So I'm just going to sit here and watch her haul and fill these bobbins. So last night I decided to start with The Kiss Curse by Erin Sterling. I am like 15% in, I'm on chapter 5, and I have tried both the audiobook and the physical. Wednesdays in the Midwest, man. I think we're done. So I'm like 15% in. I am on chapter 5. I'm really liking it so far. I didn't realize that the hero in this one is the brother of the hero in book 1. I didn't know that. I'm hoping that we get the other brother then. I'm hoping that this is a 3-book part. I thought this was following the female character's family. Apparently it's the male character's family. So I'm really liking it so far. Essentially, this is the oldest brother, and he has always kind of carried the brunt of like the family legacy. His youngest brother, who's the hero in book 1, kind of got to do whatever he wanted. And then the middle brother, Bowen, is off doing research and stuff like that. And so this main character, Wells, has always had to carry like the family legacy and take over the family business. And at the beginning of the book, he convinces his father that their like bar that has been opened in the UK is like dying. No one goes there anymore. And so he's like, let me go and like live in a small town from book 1 and let me open up a business. Even though our magic no longer powers the city, like we can still have a legacy there. And he is able to convince his father to let him go and start this business. And the place that he is going to be opening is across the street from our heroine's little shop. And I believe it's going to be like a rivals to lovers romance. They knew each other or met each other in college and like never really saw each other again, but they kind of like left a bad impression on each other. I am now thinking that I might go for a walk, and it's kind of chilly out. It's only like, I don't know, 68 or something outside. So I thought it would be like the perfect weather to go for a little walk. So I think I am going to put on some shoes and a hoodie because I don't want to wear like this. So maybe I'll just put on like a hoodie or something and grab my headphones and listen to my audiobook and go for a little walk around the neighborhood. Nothing like super intense. I just feel like I need to get up and move around. I think I'm gonna go do that, and I'll take you along with me. We can go for a walk and listen to some of this audiobook, and then we'll come back and we'll sit down, we'll do some editing and go from there.
William Morrow and Harper Audio present The Kiss Curse, a novel by Erin Sterling. Performed by Shannon McManus. A note before we begin. In case you're looking for a little fun while you listen, download the accompanying enhancement PDF from your audiobook provider to get a cross-stitch pattern of the Jones family motto, never mix vodka and witchcraft. Or go directly to harpercollins.com/pages/The Kiss Curse to access it.
Last night I finished The Kiss Curse by Erin Sterling. I finished it somewhat accidentally. I sat down and was working on that cross-stitch project and was just hanging out with my husband, listening to my audiobook, and all of a sudden I looked down and there were 14 minutes left in the audiobook. No idea how that happened, but I ended up really loving this. I actually think I liked this one more than the X-Hex. This was just, it was really cute. It was really cute. It was really fun and lighthearted. I liked their chemistry. There is a scene in here. The animals in general are just going absolutely bananas today, and it's driving me crazy. There is a scene in here in the back of a pickup truck, and this sweater vest wearing ass asking her to sit on his face killed me. It absolutely killed me. I am dead. I am deceased. That scene. That scene did me in. I couldn't believe, yeah, I have no words. So good. I really liked this a lot. It was fun. It was Halloweeny. It was witchy and spooky and adorable, and I loved it. It was really good. So 4 stars to this one. Super solid start to this vlog. I think I'm going to do Wolf Gone Wild next by Juliette Cross. I just really want to read this one. I've been anticipating it for so long. It's like 360 pages. I might see if I can find an audiobook for this. I don't know if I can, although I may have purchased it at some point. I'll have to look into that. I think that's going to be our next game plan. Like I said, this is about a witch and a werewolf. It says, what is the worst thing that can happen to a werewolf? Unable to shift for the last 3 months, Mateo knows all too well. His wolf has taken up residence in his head, taunting him at night and day with vividly violent and carnal thoughts. Convinced he's cursed, he needs the help of a powerful witch before he literally goes insane. Evie has always obeyed the rules of her coven, no werewolves. So when a distempered, dangerous werewolf strolls into the bar and almost strangles one of her late-night customers, she's ready to bounce him through the door. But the desperation in his eyes when he begs her to help him softens her heart and convinces her to bend the rules. What Evie doesn't know is that Mateo's wolf has a mind of his own, and now that she's in his sights, he wants only one thing. Her. This sounds so good. Like I said, I've heard nothing but good things about this. This is like such a satisfying floppy paperback too. I'm just really into it. So I think this is where we're gonna start next, and then I'll check back in with you once I have thoughts on this book. Oh god. All right, third time's a charm. I started Wolf Gone Wild. Where is my book? Oh my gosh. Vlogging is clearly not my strong suit. So I started Wolf Gone Wild by Juliette Cross last night. I really wanted to update you last night, but there was a game going on across the street, and if you follow me on Instagram, you know all about the new soundboard saga. We've now emailed the school and the city because it is unacceptably loud. It is ridiculous. I couldn't update you last night because all you heard was like horn blowing and stuff like for 4 or 5 hours. So it was obnoxious. But I started this last night on audio because I needed to drown out that sound. And this is so freaking good. I have been dog-earing pages that have passages that I really love because this book is so funny. One of the things I really like about this is, one, it gets right into the story. Like, there's not like a bunch of build up where you're just like sitting with the characters, getting to know them. On page 1, he is like trying to find the witch. Our hero, Mateo, is a werewolf, and he thinks that he has some sort of curse or hex on him. For the last 3 months, he has been completely unable to shift into his wolf. Because of that, his wolf is now like sharing his consciousness. So he can hear the wolf all the time, and him and his wolf have like conversations back and forth. His wolf's urges and things like that are starting to come through, and so he's becoming more aggressive and things like that. And so he goes to our witch, who is known as the Hexbreaker. When she meets him, there's like an agreement with the witches that they don't really help wolves because wolves are like the wildest of the paranormal creatures. Our heroine can tell right away that something is wrong with our hero, so she agrees to help him. And there are so many funny interactions. When they meet Evie for the first time, the wolf is immediately like, I want her, she's ours. He realizes that when he's around Evie, his wolf quiets, and so he can actually get stuff done because he doesn't have the wolf like every 3 seconds in his head telling him something ridiculous. So he goes back to Evie and begs her to like just spend time with him. He's like, I just need you to sit with me for like 4 to 6 hours while I get work done because I can't concentrate when the wolf is just saying ridiculous stuff in my head. And so he goes to Evie, finds her in the shop, and there's this really ridiculous looking cat, and he thinks it's like a taxidermy cat at first, and it says, but then the stuffed cat slowly turns its head and looks at me, and Mateo yells, fuck, and the alpha just yells, kill it. And then Mateo goes to pet it, and he's like, the alpha the whole time is like, don't do it, don't do it. He's like, calm down. He's like, do not touch that hellspawn. And it's just so funny. He keeps telling him to like kill the cat because he doesn't like the look of this weird old cat. And I was cackling on the couch. My husband was like, between you and this game, like I cannot watch my show. And I was like, I'm sorry. So it's really funny. I like it a lot. I'm listening to it on audio because Aiden Snow is one of the narrators and I love his narration. So I'm gonna go be productive this morning so that I can enjoy the rest of my evening, and I will get back to you when I've read more of this hilarious book. I thought that this would be a good time to try making some cookies. It's like lunchtime on a Friday, pretty much done with work for the day. So I thought this would be a good time to make some cookies. So I am going to use this gluten-free mix. It just needs some butter and egg and water. I have little googly eyes and then my cookie cutters. So I am going to, I know these aren't sugar cookies, so I'm hoping that they will work with the cookie cutters, but we shall see what happens. So I'm gonna do that and I will take you along with me.
I wake up from the sunshine on my face, so dehydrated, don't know what to say. Who's sleeping by my side? What did I do?
Alrighty, so I just finished making my cookies and they turned out super goofy but adorable. But I'm sure the question on everyone's mind is, are they good? And the answer is no, they are not. I've never used like a pre-packaged thing for cookies, which I'm sure sounds really weird, but like since I have so many dietary restrictions, I can never use pre-packaged cookie mixes. And this one tastes like baking soda. Like I clearly should have put vanilla and stuff into it, but I just assumed that like all you needed to do was put the ingredients on the back, like the water, the egg, and the butter like in there and mixed up, and it would taste fine, and it in fact does not taste fine. So that's unfortunate. But no harm, no foul. They look really cute. But I need to redo my nails because I have now chipped 2 of them. I am going to grab my headphones and do my nails and listen to some of my audiobook. So let's get reading.
Yesterday was supposed to be quiet. Being to myself and sit in silence until I got a call. My friend showed up at my door. They wanted me to go out for a while. We were dancing in the dark with a feeling in our eyes. Felt like we had it all. We were dancing in the dark. We were dancing in the dark. Whoa, oh, 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 oh.
Hi. So it has been a few days since I have updated this reading vlog. Life kind of got away from me, and now it is a whole new week and we are continuing on with the witch vlog. So on Friday, my husband and I ended up having a date night and we had some dinner and watched Thor, and it was a really good time and nice and relaxing. On Saturday, we had a friend in from out of town, and then that afternoon, we drove over to Madison, which is like an hour each direction from where we are, because we got tickets to a soccer game from my husband's boss, and it's like for a farm team for the MLS, and we went and we watched that. It was really fun. We ate some food and just hung out outside. It was really beautiful. And then on Sunday, since we didn't do anything productive, I spent a full day of doing content prep. And in fact, it bled over into yesterday. So yesterday I did even more editing and things like that. But I did get reading done, and I ended up finishing Wolf Gone Wild by Juliette, and I am giving this 5 stars. If you follow me on Goodreads, this one just says shut up. So if you follow me over on Goodreads, you get like real solid content. But this was so good. I loved this. I love the witch family. I loved our heroine. Our Mateo and his wolf Alpha were so great. I loved them. Alpha was hilarious. I cracked up laughing while reading this. This book is super steamy once it gets going. Oh my god, I was like waiting for so long for them to finally get together. They have really great chemistry, but they keep putting it off because of Mateo's inability to shift. They keep putting off like acting on their attraction, and when it finally happens, fantastic. I loved this. I can see why this has so much hype. I can see why everyone loves this so much. I definitely plan to continue on. 5 stars to this one. Loved it. I really loved the audio. So This was a really good time. And then last night I did actually start Witchful Thinking by Celestine Martin. I'm only 7% in, so like I didn't really make any real progress. In this one, we are following a world that is it's our world, but magic exists in this world. And like people know that magic exists. Right at the beginning, our heroine is going to this festival and there's all these mythical creatures and things like that. And our heroine and her two sisters, her two younger sisters, I believe, are all witches. And their grandmother was like the matriarch of the family. She was like the head witch. Recently, their grandmother has passed away and passed everything down to our heroine. And so now Lucy is the head of the household and she's kind of feeling that pressure and she's feeling super stuck in her life because she's been teaching for, it was like 7 or 8 years now. She's just gotten out of like a relationship that wasn't really going anywhere. And she feels like she has no real momentum in her life. And all of this is spurred on by the fact that she receives an email asking for like an update on something exciting that's happened in her life for their like high school reunion. Because of that, she's feeling very stagnant and wondering what is next for her. And while she's at this festival, her sisters end up going off and doing their own thing. And she's like, great, now my two little sisters have a life and I'm just by myself. And she decides to go over to one of those like mechanical fortune tellers because her grandmother put a spell on it, blessed it, whatever you want to call it. And her fortune gets stuck in the machine and she's like, great, what does that mean? And some guy comes in and he's like, hey, let me help you. And so she backs away. And as he's trying to help her, she realizes that it is the guy that she had a huge crush on when she was younger, who kind of like went away to do like amazing things. And that's kind of where I left it, is her realizing that it is this guy that was like the one that got away for her. Really cute and sweet. And I'm very excited for it. That's what we're reading today. I am out of audiobooks, so we are ebooking it up for the rest of this vlog. If I had an audiobook, I would listen to it while I work today, but I don't have an audiobook. So we are going to make do and I will check back in with you guys a little later. So it has been quite a few days. This keeps happening to me with vlogs where I get this idea for like a really fun vlog and I get super excited about it. I'm all ready to film and then something happens while I'm vlogging and I end up missing a whole bunch of days and then I'm like, do I scrap the video? But I'm trying to get that concept out of my head. You don't care how much time has passed between the last clip and this one. And so I need to stop thinking like, well, I missed a couple of days, so now the vlog is pointless. But essentially, I didn't read for about 4 days. Life happened. We got really busy. And because of that, I stopped reading. I just didn't have time. So I think the last time I updated you was that I had finished 2 books and now I am just about 75% through Witchful Thinking by Celestine Martin and I'm liking this. This has some parts that I really, really love and I think fit perfectly into this like cozy fall atmospheric witchy vibe that I'm looking for. However, I'm not loving the writing style. They are both just kind of trying to figure out what the next step in their life is. So he is a photographer. Merm people are known for kind of being wanderers. So they're always looking for the next adventure, next thing, and they're not very rooted. But he is starting to feel like he's missing something and he doesn't know what it is. Meanwhile, our heroine loves her small town and she doesn't want to leave, but she's feeling like she hasn't done anything with her life. Their 10-year high school reunion is coming up and she is realizing that all of the things that she wanted to do and be and create, she never did over the last 10 years. And it is them working through that, all while fighting this very intense attraction to each other. I like those aspects of it. However, there is an overabundance of simile and metaphor in here and it is distracting. Like that's the extent of the overabundance of similes in here. And so like every single time they are describing something, it is as blue as. This blue is the blue of the ocean and like it's too much. It is way too much. I can tell that the author is trying to build this very vibrant setting and make it feel alive and like its own character, but it's coming on too strong. That's the best way I can word it. And it's distracting me because like I start skimming parts because I'm like, I don't need that much description for this thing that isn't that important. Like they go to a hardware store to pick out paint and they are describing it at the hardware store. And I'm like, this isn't that important of a scene. We just need to get through it. And so to spend all of that time and metaphor and simile in the hardware store for a scene that is necessary but didn't need all of that, it's making the pace feel very slow. And that's kind of my problem with this right now, is as much as I'm liking the romance and the story, it's kind of a slog to get through at times because like those in-between moments just feel too long. We're not sitting in the moments that are important and using those similes and metaphors to make this feel important. We're doing it everywhere, and it's not hitting quite right. But I do really like the characters. I like the sisters. I like these two characters together. I do feel like their romance is a little up and down, very similar to what I was saying about the simile and metaphor. I feel like the pacing with it is it's too linear, and we're not like getting those peaks and valleys. And so like their turn from being friends to more, like that first kiss moment, I actually had to go back because I was like, wait, what happened? Like there was no pause before it happened. It just like bled right into their first kiss. I missed it. So I had to like go back and read the paragraph because I was like, wait, I missed something in there. Like they just missed that like little hesitant moment and then had it happen. I don't know if I'm making any sense as I'm describing this, but that's kind of my feelings with this book. And I don't know if that's something that is going to be corrected in the final version, because I will say that I am reading an early arc of this, so there are still like errors and stuff in here. So I don't know if some of this stuff is going to be corrected in the final copy or not, but that's my feelings so far. However, I needed another audiobook, and so I decided to just continue on with the Stay as Spelt series because I wanted to. So I will say I thought that book 2 was going to be Jules's story, which we're not there. I don't know why I thought Jules was going to get her book right away, but apparently not. This is Isadora, and Isadora was absent for a lot of book 1 because she was in a different country with her mom, but she is what do they call it? She's a conduit. And so she's the one that's like keeping the cat and the rooster alive. She can essentially imbue things with power and life. And so she is very like one with the earth. She is an animal person, a plant person. And right at the beginning of the book, she has an encounter with a vampire who hits her with his car, and it is their, I don't want to say enemies to lovers romance. Our heroine, she's a reluctant love interest, and she's very much like, I don't need a relationship. And he is all in. He wants her. He's like, I like this girl and I want to get to know her. And she is the very reluctant love interest. And I love a good reluctant love interest. So I'm enjoying this a lot. I'm not very far, maybe 50-ish pages in. I love that it has the same narrators because I love Aiden Snow. So that's where we're at. That's the little update. I think that's everything for my update. I'm gonna go eat some lunch because it's almost 1:30. I'm gonna do that. I have a ton of cleaning to do, and then hopefully I can finish up Witchful Thinking. I am gonna charge my headphones because I think I left them out overnight, so they're probably dead. But once my headphones are charged, I'm gonna listen to this. So I will come back to you once I've gotten more read. So I am here to wrap up this reading vlog. I didn't get everything done that I had wanted to. Life got in the way, and I need to get this video wrapped up and edited and posted for next week before the month runs out. So I just want to wrap up everything that we've read. So I read The Kiss Curse by Erin Sterling, and I gave this 4 stars. And then I read Wolf Gone Wild, as well as Don't Hex and Drive by Juliette Cross, and I ended up giving both of these 5 stars. I've been listening to them on audio, kind of obsessed with them. So I read both of these. And then last night I finished Witchful Thinking by Celestine Martin. And unfortunately, I'm giving this one like 2.5, 3 stars. I feel like 2.5 is too harsh, but it is more accurate of my enjoyment. I didn't particularly love the conflict. The conflict was one of those like self-induced conflicts where it was like, the hero decided that he couldn't be in this relationship without any real reason for why he couldn't be in this relationship. It was just like, it's going to fail. And I'm not a huge fan of that. I didn't like the cousin Ursula in here. There's like a side conflict between our heroine and her cousin. I didn't really like any of that. I liked the family, and I liked some of the discussions about home and love and all of that. I loved the world. Read this one if you find the premise interesting. You might like it more than me, but for me, I think I'm going to end up giving it a 3-star just because I did read an art copy, and 2.5 just feels way too harsh. So I think I'm going to end up giving this one a 3-star. That is going to be the final book for this vlog. I really wanted to read What You Gonna Do by Avery Flynn. However, I will say that I went yesterday because I needed a new book to start, and this has like a 3.4 on Goodreads, and it doesn't have me super excited to pick it up. So we'll see if that one ends up getting read right away or if I'm going to put it off for a little while for more reviews to come in. But that is going to be it for this reading vlog. Let me know if you've read any of these, what your thoughts were, and I will catch you all in my next video. Bye.